What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and welcome back to part 30, the final episode of our Sekiro walkthrough. So, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, we are now going to get the 3 remaining endings needed for the game. And to do this, you're going to have to back up your save. So, I'm going to show how to do this on PC. As I mentioned back on the Shura ending episode, if you're on console, you're going to have to either back up your save via the cloud or via a USB. So look into that if you don't know how. Now, as for PC, this is actually pretty straightforward. First, you're going to go to the folder that has Sekiro. It's pretty easy. The default would be C:/users/ mine's Bill because that's my name, /appdata/roaming/Sekiro. This folder right here, the one with all the numbers, that has all of your save info. Now for me, all I'm going to do is just right click it, add to a zip archive, and there's our save backup. If you don't have zip, alternatively you can take it, copy it, go to your desktop, paste it over there. You know, whatever have you. The idea is you just need to make a copy of that file. After you've made a copy of the file, we're set and ready to go back into the game. So as you can see, save state kept. Bosses are dead. We have all the items needed. Go and kneel before the divine heir. And you can see we can now pick. So giving him the divine dragon's tears will get you your first ending. Tears in Everblossom, second ending. Dragon tears and frozen tears, the third and what's considered to be the true ending. So let's start things off with giving the divine dragon's tears. And that should achieve your Severance ending. Basic gist here is we just use the Mortal Blade to actually sever the immortality of Kuro. Kuro dies, you take the place of the sculptor, and then, the cycle continues. Very Dark Souls centric, Miyazaki loves his cycles. So anyway, from here, quite easily, just go to Quit Game, hit yes, and then once you are at this menu, I'm going to do the we're just going to pull our save on over. So just to show it, I'm Gonna pop this on up. Going to take this one, just delete it. Take this one, extract here. That easy. Otherwise, if you pasted it somewhere, just drag the folder back over. Go back to the game. You can see right where we left off. So now go to Kuro, and same shit. Except this time, give him the Dragon's Tears and Everblossom.
おそばにおります。竜の涙を。最後の不死を成敗いたす。人として生きてくだされ。
行かれるのですね。はい。私も人として懸命に生き、そして死のうと思います。我が忍びがそうしてくれたように。エマ殿にもお世話になりました。
And with that, you'll have obtained the Purification ending. Basic gist here is, after giving him the Everblossom, and then severing your own immortality, it essentially removes the divinity from him, so he is no longer immortal and is essentially just a normal human that can live. Same thing again with the game. Back to this screen. One last time. Delete. Extract here. Start the game. And I always recommend doing it from this screen before you press anything, because that way you know the save state is in a neutral. You know, there's no saves going on. It's before you've clicked load. You know, you shouldn't mess up anything. And now for the fourth and final ending. Dragon Tears and Frozen Tears.
おそばにおります。 竜の涙を。参りましょう、我が巫女。
九郎殿、今はどうか安らかに私の心にとどまってください。さようなら、みんな。私は行かねばなりません。我らの因果を断ち切るために。とても長い旅になります。それでも共に来てくださるのですか？
はい。
ありがとう、竜の忍びよ。九郎殿も喜んでおります。参りましょう。西に神なる竜の故郷に。
And so with our final ending, return ending, we essentially get sucked on, well, Kuro gets sucked on up into the child of the rejuvenating waters, and of course we begin our journey to the west, return the divine dragon to its birthplace, and remove immortality from the world altogether. Now, with all three endings done, we're not quite done yet. We're close, but not quite. The last thing I want to touch on is getting your platinum. You know, a lot of people have said, is this going to be a platinum guide? You know, what else do I have to do to get my plat, basically? And pull up this. Taking a look over here at the achievements, see scrolling down that I am missing the platinum. You know, all achievements have been unlocked, master, prosthetic, and 2 more. Going to global, we're going to talk about what those are and how to get them, because they're not something you can get in just one playthrough. The first you're missing is going to be height of technique. This one, at the end of the day, it's just going to require farming. You have to unlock every skill in the game. We have all the skills available, it's just going to take a lot of points to unlock them. So if you want to get that, you just got to keep on playing. Whether that's a new game or a new game plus is up to you, but you're going to need to unlock every skill for that trophy. Moving on from there, we have Master of the Prosthetic. Upgrade all prosthetic tools to their limit. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just going to require some farming. You are able to, look up where to farm various mats. I know the hardest one to find, the lapis lazuli. You can farm off those 3 purple dudes that we were fighting right before the divine dragon. I would suggest using things like your Meebe Balloon of Possession, as well as the Bell Demon buff, and then of course get the passives that are in the Temple Arch tree to further increase your drop rate. And then after that, the very last thing you're missing is Man Without Equal, which you get for defeating all bosses. And you might say, hold up, we did defeat all bosses, but By the game standards, we have not. And the reason I say that is the game is tracking what bosses we have defeated by looking at the remnants in our inventory. If you remember, after we ended up taking out Ishin in the Shura ending, we got a remnant for him as well. So essentially, what you have to do is go back through the game at least once. You got to start playthrough 2, and you're going to have to play your way back up to the Shura ending and defeat Ishin on New Game Plus to get his memory. And after doing that, unlocking your skills and upgrading all of your prosthetic tools, you will have your platinum for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. So that is going to wrap this one on up, guys. Thank you so much for joining me along on this journey. Without question, this has definitely been my favorite experience that Miyazaki has brought to us so far. You know, the combat in this game, I would say, is second to none. Like, the intensity of the swords clashing and working in the tools, and it's just, ooh, man, it gets your heart going in a way that, I mean, Dark Souls was always exciting, but it was a different kind of excitement. It was a tense, nervous excitement. This is a, like, tense, in the heat of battle excitement, and I just love it. So moving on from here, more than likely I'll end up doing a New Game Plus run, you know, just to get my platinum. I'll probably end up streaming it as opposed to doing episodes like this, but I'll probably upload the streams just because you guys seem to like Sekiro. I'll end up breaking them up into either half an hour or hour blocks, more than likely just depending on progress, you know, like a 30-45 minute chunk of an area, 30-minute chunk of an area, hour chunk of an area, whatever have you. But either way, that is going to wrap things up for now. So once again, thank you all so much for joining me along on this journey. You know, it's all the viewership and all the support that makes these guides worth doing. So if there's any particular guides you guys are still looking for, I know I did the essential guide, I did the prosthetic guide, did a couple guides about farming. I know a couple folks have asked about mat farming guides, but you know, there's a couple different mobs that honestly I feel like that's kind of more of a wiki type thing. You know, you Google where to farm an item, the wiki says what enemy. I feel like it's kind of silly to put that in a video. But if there is a particular guide you think would be useful, please let me know down in the comments below. And other than that, thanks again for coming on by. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time with a different game.